What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Eternal Food Podcast, your favorite podcast, of course. As always, Alex
Adriana.
and we are glad to come back with another podcast episode,
Another banger.
another banger. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you have never hit our subscribe button.
Ooh.
I know you're subscribed to other things that don't really matter that much, or like myself. You don't even see their videos pop up anymore.
Facts.
You know, I think that's crazy. The other day I was on YouTube, and then somebody's video popped up, and I forgot I was subscribed to them.
Dude, I don't even look at my subscribed videos.
Yeah, I was like...
So turn your notifications on.
Yeah.
So
there's like a little bell thing now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't even have those on. I don't have any of my notifications on except for text
either.
messages. That's it. Text messages and phone calls. That's it.
I should have turned my text messages off. Nah,
Same. My phone's dry. Nobody ever texts me.
Same, bro. Same. It's a sad... Nah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Nah, but we're glad to be back. We hope you guys are enjoying the Instagram stuff. You know,
yeah.
we're putting a little bit here, a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's more to come. And we're just dropping off wisdom that God has given to us.
Facts.
You know, this is not our own work. We're not ever going to take credit for it, other than just obeying and going through with it.
Yeah, and not just that, but you're not going to start off knowing everything. I feel like that's something God spoke to me, because I was trying to get one of the carousels like perfect, and then God was like, you're not going to start off great. Like, just get that out of your head. Just do what I'm telling you to do, because you're going to learn from this.
Yeah, it's baby steps, man.
Yeah.
That's how our walk is. You know, we start by crawling, then walking, running until we're flying, you know? Nah, just
literally,
kidding.
yeah.
No, but yeah, that's how, and we've talked about it in another episode, where you just have to go. Like, you just have to do it. You know, that is literally what trust in God is.
Mm-hmm.
Just doing, you know, because like she said, what did you say? That God was like,
that he was just do it, yeah. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it, and he will perfect it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, he doesn't what is it? How does it say?
He doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the
cold.
The cold.
He doesn't call the qualified. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, man, just do it, bro.
Yeah.
You
Facts.
know?
Just do
like,
it.
just tithe. It's not that big of a deal.
Oh, whoa,
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, whoa.
I got a little bit ahead of myself.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I feel like that's one of the biggest things that a lot of people don't want to do.
Yeah, it's because I feel like some pastors, and I don't have any specific one, I don't have a specific one, other than that one video we saw.
Oh, yeah, close the doors.
Lock the doors. Everybody give me, what was he asking for?
$20.
like
Everybody in
that.
here is going to give me $20.
Yeah, I feel like pastors like that paint like a bad picture on what tithing really is, you know? And when tithing, like, hit me that it was so powerful was when I was going to the church and Jaime was preaching.
Oh, yeah.
It's like when I first started going there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I had ever like read that part in the Bible, obviously because I was brand new. And he talked about how that's the only like real area where you can,
I have the verse.
I don't want to say challenge God, but challenge God, you know, when you give your tithe. Because, bro, and I, from experience, like, tithing is very powerful, you know, especially when you're just giving out of obedience and not really like, yeah, you could challenge him, so yeah, expect things, but you're not just giving just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this prayer answered.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, it's just out of obedience. Like, your what is it, like your best 10% of crops or something like that?
10%.
Crops. So your finances, like, as soon as I get paid, it's like, boom, 10%. I don't hesitate. Bro, I used to do it, like, I used to get excited because I knew it was going to be payday, and then I was going to be able to tithe.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, at the end of the day, like, everything belongs to God. Exactly. Like, that money he's giving to you, like, he's letting you borrow it. Because at the end of the day, when we die, we, like, go without anything on this earth except for our worship. That's the one thing that goes with us. But yeah, like, what's the point of not giving if he gives it to us already? Like, it's just out of obedience. It's the same thing as, I guess, kind of like baptism.
Yeah.
Like, it's a step of obedience, as in, like, yes, Lord, I believe in you. And tithing is like, yes, Lord, like, I give you my finances. And the verse is actually Malachi 3:10. It says, bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessings that there will not be room enough to store it. So it's like, bring it to me, give it to me, and I'm gonna just give you so much that you're not gonna know what to do with it.
Bro, he said, test me. Like,
yeah.
He's pretty much like, I dare you.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, hey, I've been testing him, and he passes all the time. Sorry.
Even though we fail all the time, man.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, now that you read that, like, literally test me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it reminded me with, like, when people tell you can't do stuff, and you're like, oh, yeah, you want to bet? You know
that's me.
You know that obviously he didn't mean it that way, but it just popped up in my head that
Reflects that way, yeah.
You know, and it's just, and it's true. Like, try it. You know, if you've never tithed, if you've had a pastor or churches where they've like smudged that image of it, like, try it, give it a try, and really test God, because I promise He will answer.
Yeah, and a lot of the arguments people have, I'm not saying you guys have it, but a lot of the arguments people have is that, oh, well, we shouldn't tithe because it's in the Old Testament. But there's a lot of, like, you can't pick and choose what you believe in. The Bible is the Word, and the Word is God, right? So it's like, there's a lot of prophecies, like Isaiah, that prophesies about Jesus coming. And, like, you can't ignore that. But you can ignore Malachi 3:10 that says, like, bring it all to me. Like, it makes no sense. You can't pick and choose what you want to believe in.
Yeah, that's where people's faith starts getting, like, in shambles, I guess. Because they want to believe one thing, but then they don't believe the other thing.
Exactly.
You know, and you're not, I mean, personally, I don't think you're going to get very far in your faith having that type of faith, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're not, and because I used to have that faith before I became a Christian, you know, and it's like, then certain people you don't agree with, so then it makes you like not want to be around them because they don't believe in this, even though you're the one that's wrong, you know, like you hang out with the people that are right, but only to you, you know, like, oh, nah, that doesn't affect me because I don't believe that that's true. Like, but then it's in the Bible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So don't ask me about tattoo that. No, I'm kidding.
There's a lot of stuff, bro. Like,
yeah, I feel like
everything is
for sure. But people can also argue like, oh, tattoos and like women shouldn't preach and this and that. Like, like there's a lot of things that like people go specific for. But I think Jesus came and showed us that it's not about like the laws. It's about following God's word, and His word says to give the 10% to Him.
Exactly. So I think it's leaving religion out of the picture, you know.
Yeah, because technically, like, if Jesus would have come to save us, then us that weren't born like from Israel, we would be automatically gone to hell, even if we believed. Because we would have to have like that sacrifice or the Mosaic laws and all that. You know what I mean? Like, like Jesus came to cut that veil so that everybody can believe. Yeah,
and another thing's like, God is so faithful. Like, why not test Him in that? You know, like, it's like when, just think about when somebody makes you a promise and they fulfill that promise, or even when you were a kid and your parents promised you something for Christmas, and Christmas came and you got that thing. You know, that's how God works. You know, sometimes you get disappointed and people don't go through their promise, but you'll never have to deal with that with God, because He is faithful. You know, He is loyal, and if He's telling you to give and test Him, like, bro, it's gonna happen. You know, exactly. I don't think I've ever had like an unanswered prayer after my tithing. You know, and shoot, so I could speak from experience on that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I feel like tithing is just important in general because, like I said, like that's where your finances come from, and a lot of people don't realize that they're broke because they're not giving it. You see this bag of money, right? But it has a little hole because what you're putting out doesn't reflect what you're putting
Coming
in.
right back.
Yeah.
And you got to remember that, like, it belongs to God, right? So your tithe is not just like, oh, it's just going to the pastors. Like, no, it's going to the church at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they're able to make the church be bigger or host events or go out and serve your city, you know, and or take mission trips. Like, it's going to a good cause, you
Not
know.
just that, but I feel like a lot of people will feel the freedom to judge, like, oh, well, you're using my money for a Easter drop with a helicopter. Like, at the end of the
Damn, that's
day,
crazy.
yeah, there was a pastor that he rode in on the altar through a roller coaster twice, twice.
That's pretty cool though.
It is cool, but I'm like, I don't know, is that necessary? Anyways, my point is that it doesn't matter what the pastor does. Like, it does matter, but it shouldn't matter to you, because as long as you're giving your 10%, then God's going to judge you for what you give, and God will judge the pastors for what they did or didn't do. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like one time I gave someone like money so that they can like use it for like a surgery or something, and then I saw that they went on a trip, and I was like, bro, why are you going, like, what? And then I was like, you know what, I already gave that money's not mine, they can do whatever they want. And like, I
Like,
was just
bro,
like,
did you at least tithe? No.
yeah, no, but I was like, you know what, like, it's in God's hands, God knows what they need it for, like, you never know.
For a trip.
Yeah, I mean,
Vegas,
that
baby.
relaxed them.
Hey, maybe they turned that money to more money in Vegas.
For real, they met David Dobrik.
Nah. Nah, screw that guy. Nah, I'm
Nah,
just kidding. I'm kidding.
whoa, nah, I'm kidding.
Just kidding, guys.
Yeah, no, it's because once you give your money, like, it's not your money anymore. It never was to
Yeah,
begin with, but
exactly.
still.
Yeah, because just like God can give, he can take,
Exactly.
you know? So we always have to remind ourselves that like that's why it's so important to just give freely, like not just tithing, but if you have the resources and you're able to help someone, like it's good to help, you know, because and do it without expecting them to pay back.
Mm-hmm.
Not even just with like paying you back in money, but paying you back with anything else. Like, just like she said, give it and just let it go, because it wasn't even ours to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like no matter how long you've worked, how hard you work, like the money isn't ours. You know,
Exactly.
because you can work 80 hours a week and then get paid like a lot of money, right? Or should I say, and I don't know. You could work 40 hours a week, but then God still finds a way to bless you as if you just worked those 80 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how God works. He just likes to bless you in the random. I guess I'm just speaking
Ways.
out of experience or my own life, you know,
Yeah.
because that's what has happened to me, especially this year.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, bro, God is great, you know, and the tithing has done a lot for my life. I will
Yeah,
say that.
it's just based off obedience, and like sometimes God will put in your heart too to like give a little more to the church, and that's okay too, because like if God's putting it in your heart, then He's telling you how to finance your money. And that was one of the things that I would pray too. I was like, God, like, teach me how to finance my money. And like most of the time He'd just be like, okay, give this to this person, give that to that, like, and it's through that where I see His promises and His faithfulness, where like He never leaves me without anything. So
Yeah, it's like you ask God for wisdom with your finances, but then you're not tithing.
mm-hmm.
So how are you gonna expect for God to move in that area if you're not properly already taking care and doing? Because it's out of obedience, right? So doing what you should be doing with your finances, you know. And how do you want your church to grow
Exactly.
if you're not tithing?
Exactly.
You know. Or, or flip side, how do you expect your church to grow if you're a pastor but you're spending it on a new car or a new house, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just a way of God, for him to show his promises towards you, kind of like how Abraham and Isaac, how he said like, oh, I'm gonna make a great nation out of you, and it was his son Isaac, and like he never saw that coming, but because he believed and because he like, I think he gave his, I don't remember who he gave a certain tribe like a certain amount to like leave him alone, and like he would obey God with like certain things, and like through that he was able to bless him with a lot of generations, even if it was just one kid. If it was just one kid, he made nations out of him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, lately I've been reading a lot of like the genealogy or like the generations that come from, and it's crazy because like you'll see how this person was related to this person and this person was related to this person, and like you'll see how like it all connects because like the brothers, it's crazy, like especially now with every like the war going on in over there in Palestine, Israel, all that. Like I'm not saying it's this, but it pretty much is. It's like the two brothers, the twins, Jacob and Esau. Okay, they each created their own tribe, but once they died, their like their kids, their generations, like they would fight with each other because that's how their parents like viewed each other at one point. So like then they started clashing, and then like to this day they're still like fighting is what the Bible says, because that's how it started. So it's crazy how like it literally like starts from one person just passing it down their bloodline, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, when you were talking about the war and stuff, I reminded me of the videos like no más a la guerra or something like that.
Di no a la guerra. Oh, no más guerra.
Yeah, the soccer video.
Yeah, that's freaking
It just
funny.
popped up in my mind and I had to say it.
That's how I celebrate my goals. No más guerra.
Yeah, if we get 25 likes, you'll get back into soccer, guys.
What? I don't know about that, man. Pretty old.
Yeah, leave a comment down if you want to down to start playing soccer again.
I'm gonna start dropping my highlights.
Hey, if y'all want highlight videos, y'all gonna have to wait because we don't have a lot of highlights.
It's gonna be me on the bench.
Yeah, drinking water.
For real.
Sweating, but we haven't played.
Yeah.
You know?
Literally.
Yeah, no. I haven't even ran and my hamstring was like tweaking out during the day and stuff.
Yeah, be like
that. But, yeah, no, like you said, it does start with one person and it makes a difference. You know, like this isn't, I guess, correlated to tithing, but that's how it started with me and my family. As some of you guys know, like I started going to church, and obviously I'm not taking credit for this, but like I was going to church, and then my mom started going with me, and then my sister started coming, and then my dad, and now all four. My sister and I go to the same church, and my parents go with Adriana. So same, like tithing can, you know, because then God blesses you with, let's just say, like, let's just finances, right? If you ask him for wisdom in your finances and for more finances, I don't think he's just gonna bless. At least from what I've seen, he doesn't just bless you with more finance, like more money in your bank account. You're not just gonna wake up with like 20 grand in your account. It's what I've seen is more opportunity. You know, he puts you like it's like he's like, all right, you want more finances? Here's the people you need to be around, and here's the people you need to meet, and these opportunities are gonna open up. And that's how it's been with my life. You know, I've, at least with the financial side, it's been like, Lord, give me more wisdom to spend properly and to obviously have more, and like at least just pay the bills, because anything after that is extra, you know. So he's just been putting the right people in my lives and giving me the right opportunities to where you just have to take and like not take for granted. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Some people, from what I've heard, is like, yeah, I don't know. One time somebody told me that they had like just a large amount like randomly deposited to their account. Yeah, I don't know.
When are they gonna mess up on my? I'm kidding. Hey, I'm kidding.
I don't know.
No, but I feel like tying into that and what I said about that, I feel like it's like one person starts tithing, and that can be an example to someone else. I see it like a river. Like you become a river or a well to put it in those, like, back in the day terms.
Yeah.
You become a well, and through that well, other people get water. And through them getting water, they become a well, and then they become, like, other people come and get water from them. And that's how it is, like, with faith. I see it like that, where it's like you're just watering to where the water comes, like, overflows to where someone else has to become a well to get that water.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, yeah, because it has to be there. Like, it's producing so that other people can come and get.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, yeah, because you're tying it to tithing, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're saying, like, people have to give so that can be distributed to other.
Yeah, like promises, like
Yeah.
you give, but like by giving, you're trusting in God's promises that not. Because if you think about it, like, the promises don't just affect your life. Like, the promise He gave Abraham didn't just affect Abraham. It affected his wife and Isaac. And it's just like a freaking, like, constant, like, giving. But you don't see it. Even if you don't see it in your personal life, God is giving. Even, like, outside your life.
It's kind of like I don't want to say domino effect because then, but it just keeps, like, the blessing just keeps on getting better.
Yeah.
You know, like you're, like, giving turns into a blessing for somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just keeps going down the line.
But I think it's important, like you said, to give without expecting anything in return. But not just with money, like with your time as well. Like serving, I feel like it's also like a sacrifice to God, and it shows Him like that you're trying to put that effort in, and you're sacrificing your time for Him. Like every day, every moment, every breath that you take, like, live it for God. But when you're serving your congregation, you're serving your community, you're, like, really giving back to God. I don't know. That's just how I feel, where I'm like God, take my sacrifice, my time, and, like, just do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, even with your, like, job, or at home with your family, your wife, your kids, like, don't just have to do things because, like she said, every breath you take it for God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what the Bible says. Do everything like if you're doing it for Jesus.
Yeah.
Right? So it just makes you think, like, is this enough for Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
You know, or, like, would Jesus approve of this? You know, like, I don't think if you read through the whole Bible, Jesus never just half did things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, He was committed and firm behind every, like, action that He took and everything He said. He was there was a lot of confidence behind that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think we should do everything with that confidence and with that discipline, because we're not doing it just for us, or we're not doing it just for the people. Like, we're doing it for Jesus, and essentially that's the reflection that we want out into the world. You know, because when you tithe and you say you're tithing for the church, people just think the church as the building, but, like, we are the church.
Yeah.
You know, so it's going to other people. It's going to homeless camps. It's going to prison ministries. Like, it's going to places that you probably do know because your church will announce it and stuff, but stuff that you can't even see where your money's going. And then when you think about it and you realize, like, dang, I was able to contribute to that because I obeyed God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it's a different feeling than being like, oh, I was able to buy this new bag.
Yeah, which will only last like a minute.
And it's not even worth anything. You know, you pay $500 for it.
No, and then it goes out of style, and it's like, okay, well, I want to get rid of it now, you know? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. That's just how I'm not, like, very materialistic. Yeah. There are certain things where I'm like, okay, like, I have to kind of.
Can't tie this week.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't tie this week.
Nah,
I want to get the
new cleats just came out, so, you know.
Yeah, you gotta spend
dude,
money.
you saw they brought back the hypervenoms?
Yeah, I saw that. Those are my cleats. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
And the tiempos, if you know, you know. And the mercurials.
Dude, they need to bring back the carbon fiber on them.
For real.
But not for $400 though.
Nah.
Those of you that are old enough to remember.
You know.
You young guys, y'all don't know what $400 cleats are, bro.
Yeah. No, but I feel like another important thing to like kind of say about like tithing is like going back to what I said, where it's like obedience. And every time God tests us, where it's like, I don't want to give my 10%, or I don't want to give that extra that God's telling me, or whatever. It's through those tests where God prunes us, and like you can see where like, or at least this is how I imagine it, right? Where it's like my heart is like hard, and then like I just see like a little piece of concrete fall off whenever I obey, and it's like I didn't want to do that, but
you unlock doors, man.
Yeah.
That's where like restoration comes, and because you're obeying, that's something
Exactly.
Pastor Brandon preached about this last Sunday. The title was from, I forgot. Dang, I know it was
Dude,
like
your
it started with
memory,
a D.
bro. Your memory.
It was from delivered to devoted. That's what it was.
Oh
called.
yeah, I saw that on Instagram.
I know it was a D and then another D.
Yeah.
From delivered to devoted. And that's like he was saying, like, that when you're devoted, like that's where like the healing takes place. When you start getting healed, and like the doors start unlocking, because you could be delivered, but then we see it with certain people, right? They just like kind of fall off the train, and then they're not devoted anymore. I'm not saying they're not blessed anymore, or they're not like that God doesn't care about them, but it's just has a different like feeling to it, because I've been there after I first got saved. That's a story for another day. But yeah, it's just like just remain in that like state of obedience and submission.
Yeah. And something I learned too is like whenever I use the word pruning, I was like, what? Like I know what it means, but like really go down to it. It's like whenever you cut like flowers or certain branches that are dead for your fruit to grow or your flowers to blossom, that's what pruning means. And it's like whenever he tests us, he's cutting those little like dead spots so that something can sprout. So if he's like been telling you to tithe and you don't want to, just know that he's like, you should, but not because he he wants your money. It's not about that. He wants your obedience, and through that he's gonna prune those branches and give you like the fruit that comes from it.
Yeah. And obedience will always, I'm gonna say firm, because I was like, but it will always come over sacrifice.
Exactly.
And who cares if your pastor is getting a new pair of shoes every other week? Don't focus on that. Just focus on the fact that you're obeying God's word and obeying what He's calling out of you to do. That's like focusing. Again, we're a church, but like stay in your lane as well.
Yeah.
And don't let the outside noise distract you or pull you away from promises that God has for you, just because you feel a certain way about what you're doing.
Exactly. And I feel like something important that I already told you is like this week that I learned is like integrity.
Yeah.
And like if you're firm on your things, like God will bless you because you are firm in that. And I remember, if y'all listened to the last episode, I was talking about how did Job get that like circle of protection, and God revealed to me that it was through integrity of like having his morals right and knowing who his God is. So that made him know who he was as a person. And if we know who our God is and we keep our integrity to it, then like he's going to able to protect us, and not just protect us, but bless us, like I said, with so much that we're not going to know what to do with it.
Yeah. Abundance, bro.
Exactly.
But if you're at a church where they're asking for a specific amount, leave.
And they tell you to close the doors and you can't leave.
Run. Don't walk away. Run.
Push people out, man. Give them a fake $20 bill.
Nah, I don't know about all that.
The fake ones, oh, dude, did you know that? Like, bro, this sucks. But, I work at a restaurant, right? And on Sundays, there'll be like huge like groups of people come in from church, right?
Yeah.
And like one time, because I'm the cashier, the waitress came up to me. She's like, "Bro, look at this." And I was like, "Oh shoot, that's cool. Like you got $100 bill." She's like, "No, open it." I opened it. Some Christian like church people had came, and they freaking left a $100 bill, but just with the numbers, and in the middle it was like God will provide or something like that. And I was like, no way. She's like, yeah, they didn't even leave a tip. They just left this. I was like,
hey, that's more than enough.
That's insane. Like, take care of your waitresses.
They planted seeds at the end of the day.
No, that's not the way. That's not the way to do it, in my opinion. I'm like, bro, like that. That's messed up.
That I agree with tipping, but if I just come to pick up a order,
no, it was a big table.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Damn.
Yeah, don't if you're a cashier and you say, "Is just gonna ask you a quick question," don't say that, bro.
Yeah, or don't look at the screen as I'm choosing. I'm
choosing no.
You know, because
I'm like, I usually tip. I'm a good tipper, but if I'm just getting a quick like coffee drink or like a quick like to go snack, like I'm sorry, I'm not tipping.
You just push 2 buttons for my order and then you want me to tip you $5.
Exactly.
Like, it's not happening, bro.
And from my experiences, cashiers earn better than like the waitresses and stuff. So I'm like, I'd rather give my tip to them. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Doesn't have to be yours. And like I said, I'm not like cheap or whatever. I do tip, but it's like
sure. Nah, I'm kidding.
No,
so tip your servers.
Yes, waiters. I don't know how that went from tithing to tip your servers, but tip
maybe
your
some
servers.
of the servers need to start tithing.
True.
That's why she didn't get a real tip.
You see that? I'm not gonna tip unless you tithe that.
We know who you are. Nah,
I'm kidding. Nah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's because
God provides.
Yes, I don't remember what it was, man. But it was like $100 bill, and it was like a Bible verse on there with like, yeah, with like explaining it and stuff.
Like it's like not even a Bible verse about God providing. I guess it's some random verse.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but it was like something like about God, and I was like, "There's no freaking way."
That's funny, bro. Yeah.
I was like,
"It sucks, but it's funny."
No, it's just dude. I honestly feel like everybody should work a customer service job so that they can treat people like so that they can understand why sometimes they take long or why sometimes they mess up or like, you know, like I feel like a lot of people need to be more understanding.
I agree.
And like that'll help the customer service situation going on right now.
Then they're rude and then they expect you to just still, well, I guess as a Christian you should
turn the other cheek.
Yeah,
but there's moments, you know, like obviously like if they're being like, for example, okay, like I went on a trip with my friends and like I said, I'm a good tipper, and so I was gonna tip well even though we had horrible service. Like the guy didn't even bring out our drinks, he didn't give us refill, he only came to our table once, which was to drop off the food. That was it. And so I go to the restroom, I come back, my friends were like, "Hey, like, is this correct?" It was only 4 of us. He's like, "Is this correct?" I was like, "What?" And I look, and I was like, "What the heck?" The guy had added 16% gratuity, and you only do that with tables that are 6 or more. And so I was like, "What the heck? No, why did you do that?" And they're like, "I don't know. We were waiting for you to come back so we could ask you." And I was like, "No, he shouldn't do that." And then they were like, "Well, we already paid." I was like, "Why'd y'all pay? Like, why'd y'all? I know I didn't take that long. Like, why'd y'all pay?" And then they were like, "Well, it's because like we didn't want to argue this and that." And I'm like, I was like, "Bro, I was gonna give you more than what this was, but because you did that, trying to get trying to get more." Like, thinking we weren't going to tip. I was going to give you more. But because you did that, like, you're just going to keep that. Like, and I was like, dude, y'all are lucky we already paid. But I would have gotten the manager. Because I know to put the 16%, you need the manager code. Like, you can't just put it just, like, yourself. So I was like, yeah. With those things, I do go hard only because like I work in that. I like that's.
Tell them the restaurant. Nah, I'm just kidding.
So if you want to go to no, but yeah, like that's just one of my passions. Only because I know, like when they're doing, like correctly and when they're not. I don't know. And I've always been one to like give, like, even service wise, I'm like give without expecting anything. So like I give my best customer service. I give my best like attendance or whatever, even if they aren't, like even if they're mean to me, I'm like okay. And sometimes it's hard, but that's when God really reflects.
Yep, that's true.
Anyways, that was a little tangent because I'm very passionate about that. But do you have anything else to add about tithing or customer service?
Tithe, bro. I know some people might get paid this week, so tithe. You know, even if it's your first time, just tithe and ask God for whatever it is you want.
And even if it's like you're not working and you only have like $5, it's like that lady who only gave one coin, or I don't remember the amount, but she just gave like one thing, and then the richest guy gave like $100. And Jesus was like, you, for like having faith with that little bit of money, like you're the one.
She gave all she had.
Yeah, exactly. And then the guy that had way more was like, well, I gave more. It's not about the quantity, it's about the way you give.
Yeah. Because that's faith if you break it down. That's what faith looks like. That's what trusting in God looks like.
Exactly. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know I went off topic a little bit towards the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and share with someone if you think this was a blessing. And we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.